Hi first graders, and welcome to a ranch read aloud with Miss Everett and my absolute favorite horse, Rufus. He is super goofy. He also loves to eat. And so, oh, he's nodding his head. Yes, he does love to eat. So we're gonna try to do a read aloud together, but I bet you he tries to escape because the field is right next door. Okay, so I had a book that was a special request, and it is a Pete the Cat book. Pete the Cat and his Groovy Buttons. So the author is Eric Litwin. Here we go. Pete the Cat and his Groovy Buttons. And his 4 Groovy Buttons. I better get the title right. Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much he sang this song. 4. My 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. What do you think, Rufus? Pop! Oh no. One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 3. 4 minus 1 equals 3. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing a song. My 3 groovy buttons. My 3 groovy buttons. Roof, back up. You're not even in the read aloud, bud. Scooch, scooch, scooch. All right. Pop. Oh no. Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Huh, Roof? Back up. He doesn't want to listen. Rufus. 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my groovy buttons. My 2 groovy buttons. Ice cream. Pop! Oh no. Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Oh my goodness. 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My 1 groovy button. My 1 groovy button. Pop! Oh no. The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0. 1, take away 1 is 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? His belly button. And he kept on singing his song. He says it's all good. My button, still I have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness no. We just keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. The end. I hope you enjoyed this very silly read aloud with Miss Everett, Rufus, and Pete the Cat. Let me see if I can get him back for one last goofy shot of Rufus today. All right, Ruf. Say goodbye, Rufus. Have a good day, first graders. Hey again. Before I end my read alouds, I want to start sharing some ranch facts with you. I guess Rufus thinks that's a good idea too. Don't you, Rufus? So I'm going to teach you a little bit about a horse. And so one fact is that different horses have different colors. And Rufus, see how he's kind of a reddish brown color? That makes him a sorrel. So if you see a horse in a field somewhere, are you a sorrel, Rufus? If you see a horse that is like a red-brown color with a red-brown mane and a red-brown tail, then that means they're a sorrel. And on his front head, you really shaking his head because he wants to eat the green grass. On the front of his head, he has what we call a star and a stripe because right here in the middle of his eyes, hey, stop. Right here in the middle of his forehead, he has this white spot, and that's called a star. And then it goes down and is a stripe. Stop. On the bottom of in the middle of his head, that's called a stripe. So we would say he's a sorrel with a star and a stripe. And that's your ranch fact for the day. I hope you guys have a good day. Right, Ruth? All right, bye.